This is Our News, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, ongoing challenges at the Department of Social Services as the issuance of prepaid cards for food assistance could be delayed for months, and police on the hunt for a wanted suspect.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks for joining us. The problem of reissuing prepaid food assistance cards could be months from a resolution, as the acting social services director says that process is a rather tedious one. Nonetheless, officials say they have put some measures in place to ensure that clients are assisted until the process is done. Our Jillian Gray reports.
The reissuing of prepaid cards for food assistance is an ongoing challenge for the Department of Social Services. And while Acting Director Lillian Quant-Forbes declined to say how many persons are affected, she did say the amount of persons affected by the delay is significant.
There has been a delay in that process, and so you would hear the roar from the various centers where people are saying, well, they've gotten used to just going in the supermarket and using their cards. And the cards allow them that dignity as well, versus now we're back to using food coupons. But it is a temporary measure. But my thing is too, if the need is for food, and we have to use the food coupons to meet that need, then that's what we're doing.
There's no telling when the issue will be resolved, as they have to work along with the Bank of the Bahamas, which issues the cards on their behalf. Quant-Forbes says it is a rather large task, as they have to go through the process of reassessing all recipients.
The cards would have expired over a period of months, and so we have to go through the mass process of doing reassessments. So we have to make sure, one, our client is still alive. The client's situation has gotten worse, it has gotten better. There is still a need, and so once it is that we're able to do the reassessments on those clients, then we send everything forward for approval, and that is a process in itself.
Minister of Social Services Frankie Campbell said earlier this month he's advised his team that those who've already been evaluated should receive cards. While the issue of completing that process persists, Quant-Forbes said she is thankful for their partners in the community who ensure that those who need support receive it.
If social services rate for a single person is $84 a month for food assistance, and the rate is $189 for 5 or more children, we know that that cannot adequately provide for that family for the entire month. And so it is that they have to be able to supplement that. One of the things too that our partners in the community have said is that most times they won't take the person just off the street to come and say. They want to know, have you gone to social services? Can social services then give a referral to say, yes, so-and-so is a client of ours or has made applications but don't qualify for the assistance.
The recent unemployment numbers, which showed an increase in the number of unemployed youth and the number of distressed workers, has an effect on social services. As Quant-Forbes says, those people usually land on their doorstep.
Whenever any business goes under, and it's a whole ripple effect happens, and so persons will come to social services and make an application. Again, to my Bahamians are proud, and some of them, as best as they can, if they would say, I don't want to go into social services, I don't want to go, they may have heard the stories about persons' views, that is that person's view. But I say to the persons out there, if you are in need, come, let's go through the process, and then let's see how best that we could try to relieve some means of stress off of you as best as we can.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks a lot, Jillian. From the crime beat tonight, police on Grand Bahama are investigating what they are classifying as a sudden death. According to reports, it was after 6 p.m. yesterday when officers were called to a home on Bayshore Road, Hepburn Town in 8 Mile Rock. When they arrived on the scene, they met the lifeless body of a male in a vehicle. Now, police say foul play is not suspected at this time, and they will wait an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Also from Grand Bahama, police need your assistance in locating 24-year-old DiMaggio Wims. He is wanted for questioning in connection to a murder investigation. However, no information on what particular murder. Police say Wims is of medium build with a brown complexion and stands 5'6" or 5'8" tall. His last known address is here in Nassau. Now, police advise that he is to be approached with extreme caution. If you have any information on the whereabouts of DiMaggio Wims, you are asked to contact police. And we will take our first break here, but still ahead tonight, the Small Business Development Center gets ready to launch this month. And later on, we speak with some of the contestants vying to become the next Miss Bahamas Universe. Those stories and more when Our News returns.